All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I had to take care of a lot of business today, but you know what I said? There's two topics that the Father wants me to cover: the church and Galatians chapter 3 and chapter 4. I would cover chapter 4 tomorrow, but today we're going to talk about the church and faith. This is a warning to you all out there that's teaching these people that they are to go into the broad gate of your understanding, of your wisdom, of your knowledge. You see? Because what is happening is I got a race to run. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. He created me a lane. I know my lane. I know my position. I know my purpose. And I know my position. Okay? I think I said that. I said it twice. But I want to say to you all that there are many that are out here that belongs in the body of Hamashiach, which is the body of Christ. I say unto you, you need to get yourself over where you belong and stop running to and fro, up and down the earth, as if the world has something to offer you, or you're going to find it somewhere on one of these corners. You see? Because you're not going to find it. It all rests in the bosom of the Creator. And the way He's bringing it to us is from the inside. He ain't got nothing for you on the outside, so you can chase around all these tails that's on all these platforms. But until you realize that you're not only chasing your tail, you're chasing a multitudes of tails all on all these platforms, because they're not leading you nowhere but in the circle. Okay, so this is a warning to those that are out there that of the body of Hamashiach, which is the body of Christ. Christ being the head, Christ being the head, Christ being the head, and you are in that body. You just can't park yourself up in that body. You got to have it from the inside out. You got to feel that thing. And I thank the Father from teaching me in the last 2 years. This thing, Deborah, it's got a feeling to it. It does. It really does. That's how I learned how repent wasn't something you just said out of your ugly mouth. It's a feeling down deep within. You see? And it's a difference in the two. When you speak from the outer man versus the spiritual man. Big difference. As the north is to the south. That's how far distance they are from one another. So I, Sister Deborah, is going to cover the church and faith in Galatians. We're coming from Galatians chapter 3. But we want to touch church first. Church first. Last night when I got off of live, I went into the kitchen and I decided to make me some lemonade. Squeeze me some lemonade, add me some honey, put me some filtered water that I boil, and I get it real cold, and I made me some lemonade, honey lemonade, and it was really good. And at that time, I was dealing with water, and the Spirit spoke to me, and He said, Deborah, where they are so lost at is they playing with the church, and they don't understand what the church is, what it was, and what it shall be in the days to come. The church is not a building made by man's hand, a place where flesh come and lead and guide you, direct you, teaches you. That's not the church. And what he was breaking down to me, he said, I noticed you talk about the twos. Did you ever think to pull those two up? And I said to the Father, I never would have thought of that. I never would have thought of that. So I'm drinking this lemonade. He said, and I did a wonderful video last night, a wonderful video on the church. But when I went to check it and make sure everything was sounding right and it was, right to upload, it was off the chain. I ain't never seen my laptop act up like that. But I said, Father, it was good. It was good. That video just did something to me. But most of all, I like the idea that the Father came to me and he checked me. He said, what about, when you always talk about those tools, have you ever thought the churches is too? I said, that it would have to be, Father. He said, that's what I'm sharing with you. It is too. Because man think the church is a building made by man's hand, made out of bricks. And the true church is in the bosom of the Most High. And it rests, the Most High rests within us. That's the church, y'all. That's the church. And he said the positions of those that are in the church, as my saints, Deborah, is not in the building. That's why T.D. Jakes and all of those, Joe Epstein and all of them doing what they're doing, because the world thinks the church is fellowshipping in the multitude in a building. He began to share that with me. I thought that, I was like, Father, thank you so much. And I got online and I did that video. And to me, I know I felt chills. But when I went to check it, to upload it, it did not. The sound was off. Everything was off. I said, wow. It took me that hour, and I think it was 20 minutes. And I mean, it was off the chain. So I come tonight to say unto you, I'm going to try to back that thing a little up and bring it on down a little bit. And then we're going to jump into the faith. You're going to learn how the law in which these people are slinging out of their mouth, it has to stand down to even the word faith. Not the word faith, but the spirit of faith. And I'm going to get into that in Galatians chapter 3. And I'm going to nail it in chapter 4 tomorrow. But I want to get on this church. He was telling me that is the biggest issue, because many people are coming after the Roman Catholic like I do. I always come after them, but they are set up as a church, Deborah. The Christians are set up like as a church. Every place is set up as a temple, a synagogue, or a church, which all of them fall in the same guideline. But he said what is happening, they don't understand that's not the church. He said, now, Deborah, as I have given it to you in the wilderness, I said unto you that the words are the book, but the word is who I am. I am the word. But what they're reading and studying and teaching from, those are the words. He said it's a big difference. When they don't recognize that the Father is the word, with no S, the word. And when it is spoken, and even where you can see where it's smeared, where it would say something and it'll tell you something, then you'll see they won't capitalize the word. Because the word, and that's probably on in this whole Bible a couple of times where they would forget to capitalize it. Why are they capitalizing the word W-O-R-D? Because they know it's power behind it. The word is the power, and the power is the word. When the word is spoken, the power brings forth that which is spoken. This book can't do that, child. So he wants you to know when he said study, you have to have had something to study. If there's something saying study to show thyself, I didn't tell you to show nobody on YouTube. I didn't tell you to show your congregation. I didn't tell you to show your temple. I said study yourself to show yourself approved. because I knew it took me, the Spirit, to come and be the true teacher in you. But they are claiming that they are the church. And they are the church. That's what the Father was bringing to me last night. They are the church. They are the church of the flesh. I am the church of the Spirit. Pull that two up, Deborah. And I was like, oh, you done got me good. I'm telling y'all, he got me good. Because to know that even the church falls under the guideline of two. What Satan has a seed, he has a seed. Everything stands on two. That means that when you pull up, and I've said to you all you can do when you begin to study and read, and then the Ruach come in, he'll start to divide everything in twos. And you'll be saying, well, where's the middleman? Where's this? And he'll show you. See, this is one, and this is another. They don't have nothing in common. Matter of fact, they got hate between each other. You see? And he'll begin to tell you everything is divided in them twos. See, this is not something a pastor, a bishop, an apostle, a priest, a prophet or a prophetess or evangelist, a watchman, a seer, a minister, or whatever. They can't bring this down to you like Deborah bringing it to you. They can't. Because people don't understand what is for you is for you because y'all trust giving it to you that you're going to say it exactly the way he gave it to you. You ain't going to swim into what all the lost book said and what this book said and what this book said. Furthermore, Sister Deborah tell you, I can sit here and talk to you all night without even the King James Version. Because they don't understand. Greater is he that is in me. He is the word. What do I need a book for? Can somebody tell me that? You see what I'm saying? But see what the world needs, the one that got these fake churches. There are people that feels that if they on YouTube on the Sabbath day, and these heathens and Gentiles feel that they're on YouTube on a Sunday, that they are a church speaking from these devil platforms to the mass and to the multitude. No, baby. You're lost in the church. I would never claim that I'm anywhere near the worldly church. I am of the spiritual church, but I ain't in the body of Hamashiach to run it and lead the multitude. That's not what I'm here for. I am a prophetess for the body of Hamashiach. And the part of the body I am a prophet unto is the tribe of Judah. Do the tribe of Judah make up the body? No. The body has all nations within it. I just was sent to minister to the tribe or to speak a right now word to the tribe of Judah. That's why you don't see Deborah bothering all these things that's going on. Why? Because I've sat in the wilderness for too long and have heard the voice of the Most High Yah limiting me to a certain nation of people. Yes, can I go left? Sure, I can go left. Can I go right? Yes, I can go right. Can I go up? Yes. Can I go down? Yes. Why? Because I set my tail down long enough up under the throne of the Most High Yah's will and heard his teaching. And I didn't have a book to hear him. And all that I've learned from his bosom within me. So when he comes to me last night and he tells me about the two churches, he say, the thing about the church of the world, everybody's detached to it because they separated the church, the true church. They have went in and called themselves deceiving the true church to make the body of Hamashiach believe that they are the church. So the Father is saying today as a warning, he and she that is in, young and old, that is in the body of Hamashiach, get in the house. Now, that's the true church. It's time as a warning unto you. Get inside. The door is getting ready to close. Get inside. the true church. While you playing, and you've been playing for years on these devil platforms, thinking you in there, you getting what you need, you getting the food for the spirit, you know the God, you don't know nothing about them. And been chasing the tails of many people on these platforms, and they have not fed your spirit, man. You have turned away from he that is the head, which is Christ, Hamashiach of the body, which is the true church. You've turned yourself away. It's time to return. The door is about to close. This is a warning, said the Most High Yah. Since you want to think and feel that you are in the true church on the outside and have forsaken the true church that rests within, get in, because the door is about to close. That's the warning. I'm not going to keep on expounding on the true church. I'm just going to let you know there's two pulling up on the earth. And the one in spirit is the righteous church. That's why Yeshua, hear me now, and hear me now. When Sister Deborah hear Yeshua says to them, who do they say that the Son of Man is? Then they went on to say Elijah, the prophet, John the Baptist, and all this. But what did he pull up with? Who do they say I am? See, he separated himself when he said I am. He was talking about the Father. Peter pulled up and said what? The Son of the living Yah. You know why? Yeshua stepped back. I knew he had to take a step back. You know why he had to take a step back? It wasn't in his power nor his will to reveal that unto Peter. And he gave the glory to who? Flesh and blood did not reveal that unto you. Meaning, Peter, I haven't mentioned that to you. Only one could have gave you that is he that is in the heavens on the throne. Woo-wee! You mean the Yah shared that, gave that to Peter in the midst of his son? Come on now. Come on. See, y'all don't think. Y'all don't have what it takes to really think. That's the same way it is with the church. That's the same way it is with the word. That's the same way it is with wisdom. That's the same way it is with knowledge. That's the same way it is with understanding. It's true. That's the same with righteous. There's an unrighteous and there's a righteous. There's a belief and there's an unbelief. There's a faith and there's a faith. And there is a fear and there is a fear. You have to be able by the rock within teach you that they're totally separate. And you got to walk by spirit, which is on the right-hand side. This is what he was sharing with me. And I thought it was beautiful for him to share that with me in such a late hour last night that I felt really good when I went to bed. Because I felt good because I heard what he was saying. I understood what he was saying. I embraced what he was saying. I glorify him in what he was saying. Because he just came out of nowhere. I'm thinking I'm getting me I got me cons. And I had my lemonade. I said, I'm finna go in here, go to bed. And all of a sudden, I'm up in the kitchen making me some lemonade. And I turned around and I say, wait a minute. It's just something like a quicken. He said, Deborah, you know it's two churches. Have you ever thought about, like you always be talking, two churches? And it is. There are two churches. One is for the flesh and one is for the spirit. And they can't connect with each other because the Father in heavens has a division between the two. Isn't that beautiful? He has a division between the two. And I love that. And I thank him for sharing that with me last night. And like I said, I jumped on here to do the video. And guess what, y'all? I did it. It took me an hour and a half. No, hour and 20 minutes. And I was looking over it and I was like, wait a minute, you can't hear the sound and it's going slow. It was off the chain. But I thank the Most High, y'all. I thank him so much for the message that he put in my spirit regarding the church. And what he wanted, I'm trying to tell y'all really what he was saying. He said, Deborah, sometimes you look out and you see the mass and the multitude following one way. This is really a part of why he came to me. He said, don't be discouraged. He said, because you got to understand, like I said, there's two churches. If you meditate on the fact that there are two churches and understand there's one in the spirit and there's one in the flesh, then you'll see what is what. You'll see the mass are following those who are giving them the, how would I say it, the characteristics of a church. Because a lot of them think that, I'm going to tell y'all, which y'all did not know, a lot of them got people turning to their channel as if it is the church on the Sabbath day. And people are looking and desiring to hear and have followed for so many years the food to feed the flesh. So he was sharing with me that once you understand, Deborah, that there's two churches, one in the spirit, which is the body of Christ that's over, and then there's one in the flesh. They worship the Satan seed and they put everything up under the Satan seed and calling it me. And they calling it the true church. And within themselves, he said, all within them, they think that they are the church. Without understanding the church already got a head. He don't need you. And that is the body of Hamashiach. Do you understand what a head is? You take a head off. Let's say, for instance, we are all in the body of Hamashiach. And the head is Christ. Take that bad boy off. Take Christ off, y'all. Take that Hamashiach off. Now we walking around without a head. Then what are we missing? Now one of you know, do you? What are you missing when you take Christ off? You're missing the word, you're missing the power, and you're missing the ruach. You're missing it. Why? Because you took the head off. So what are you replacing it with? These leaders and these people on this devil platform who got you thinking that they upholding the Sabbath day to worship your Father. How are you worshiping my Father and you're claiming to be away from what he stands for? You throw him crumbs Monday to how would I say, to Sunday. But come the Sabbath day, it's about y'all. He ain't going for it, y'all. Y'all can continue to go for it, but he's not about that. And what he's saying is they are not connected to the body of Hamashiach, the true church. And all Sister Deborah is saying through the warning, get back in the house. The door's getting ready to close. I mean, it's been open and it's closing. And if you get caught out there, that's what you're going to get caught out there in. Because you best bet there are two churches. And the Father says, the warning is sent out to you. It's time to come in. Okay. Now, what I want to get into is Galatians. I wanted to get into adding the verses to the church. And I will do that another day. And when I got in it, I was like saying to the Father, how could so much be here and people are talking about everything else? How is it that so much food for the spirit rests within and everybody else talking about something else? It doesn't make any sense. But this is the way that they are leading the mass through the broad gate. It's not the way, but that is what he is suffering to be. The gate that's leading them where they find pleasure and comfortable walking therein. So I want to start with Galatians chapter 3. And in Galatians chapter 3, it's so much good stuff in it. It just feels good. It just feels good to Sister Deborah because I'm messed up, y'all, because I'm trying to grip this thing in a way of trying to understand what is actually happening here that people are not getting it, but it's going right back to that church. It's going right back to it. See, people don't understand the food from the church that's in on the outside. It's not the same food for the church that's under the head, which is Christ, which is the Hamashiach. The body that's under the Hamashiach, under the head of which is Christ. The food that you get from that is totally different than the food that you get on these platforms and you get in these churches that call themselves church, or we a church, or we this name, we the Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, or all these different people who claim that they are the church, and especially on this devil platform, even amongst the Hebrews. They really feel in their spirit that they are the church, teaching away from spirit and truth, teaching away from the food that nourishes the spirit. And they don't see nothing wrong with it. Why? Because they energize. They're energized by the energy that the people put out to them. Okay? So in Galatians chapter 3 and verse 1, and let me see, should I go? Galatians chapter 3. I started with Galatians chapter 28, and then I said, wait a minute, hold up. I got to bag that thing all the way at the beginning because it says so much good things in the spirit realm. So in Galatians chapter 3, it says, "O foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you that you shall not obey the truth? That you shall not obey the truth. Before whose eyes Messiah has been evidently set forth, crucified among you." Verse 2. "This only would I learn of you. Receive ye the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith?" You all in the live chat, it's good to see you. But I'm going to read this over and let me see if you really can understand this in verse 2. In Galatians chapter 3 and verse 2. "This only will I learn of you. Receive the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith." How do you receive the Spirit? Is it by the works? You see that word, an S? So is it by your works of the law, or by the hearing of your faith? By the hearing. Isn't that deep? You're so right. By the hearing. So what did that tell you all? That the law cannot defeat one of the brands in the heavens called faith. Ooh, they gonna get in trouble. You gonna get in trouble. Sister Deborah, you gonna wish you didn't even say anything about Galatians chapter 3. Because it's gonna separate the law in which they trying to beat up on your head with. That's in Torah and in the book. It's gonna let you know when that faith come in, that righteous, that belief, and that fear pull up. The Most High Yah's brand is righteous, faith, belief, and fear. When them bad boys pull up, everything else got to bow down. Let me say that again. When the brand of the Most High Yah pull up, everything else got to bow down. And y'all gonna find that out. But it ain't gonna mean nothing because you're gonna see something that maybe you never heard and you never knew. But by you just saying hearing of faith, well, what happened to the works of the law? Why couldn't they get the Spirit? Because the works of the law. This is what I try to tell you about all these lost books. You can swim in all these lost books if that's what you want. The law exactly is just a schoolmaster to bring us Christ, which is all the power. They don't get it. They don't get it. Because they regularly use the law because they know the law brings you nothing. And that's why Sister Deborah have said in the last 2, maybe 3 years, probably been 3 years, you cannot take Torah and think you can swing Torah and the laws that rest therein over even in this day and time. You can swing it over in Yeshua's day and time. Because he come to cap everything up and everything down off. He come to fulfill it. Why? Because you couldn't keep the law. You wasn't keeping it when he came. But he left you a token. Christ, Hamashiach. That's right. The law is a schoolmaster to just bring us to Christ. And it was being held there just until Christ pulled up. So what happens? When you go to Galatians and you read verse 2, this only would I learn of you. Receive the Spirit by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith. Now here we go. Yes, it overrides. There you go. You see how that's telling you? It's actually telling you it overrides. But see, they don't want no part of spirit and truth. They've been living the life for so long, the lies live in them. Ooh, you're going to get yourself in trouble, devil. You better watch yourself. You're going to get in trouble. Okay, let's go to verse 3. We're in Galatians chapter 3 and verse 3. Are ye so foolish, having begun in the spirit, and ye now made perfect by the flesh? Listen to this. Are ye so foolish, having begun in the spirit? Are ye now made perfect by the flesh? You can't. You can't be made perfect by the flesh. You can be made perfect by the spirit. Why? Because the spirit rests in you. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. How can you get any perfect in that in the spirit? That's how you become perfect. You remember where it says, and be ye perfect as Christ. You see, because no one understood that there is a spirit and there is a flesh. No one is found perfect in their flesh. But when that spirit roll up in you and abide in you and you abide in him, oh, you become perfect because he is perfect. You see what I'm saying? See, nobody wants to consider he that lives in us, the greater one. We want to kick him to the curb, even in the fake churches as well as, no, I ain't gonna say the spiritual churches, but the fake churches, they don't have no time to teach and preach that. They ain't got nothing to do with that. They don't have the strength nor the endurance or the know-how or know about to understand that the spirit that is within, you cannot mess with that. And that's why I say to you all, where you are under the spirit and truth, and you got a pin needle light, can't nobody tell you nothing. Because he is constantly residing in you, waiting to tell you what he needs to tell you and teach you what he needs to teach you so you can be taught it from the inside and then you can bring it out and teach somebody something. These people right now, they thinking they can teach you something because they read books. They found all the lost books and they master 16, 11. They'd have been to seminar and they got it. But baby, you ain't got nothing. And I just thank the Father, like I said yesterday, for hiding his in his secret place. And here we are at the year 2024. All these so-called teachers, leaders, bishops, priests, apostles, prophet, teachers, and pastors, seers, and watchmen, moorings, they can't teach you nothing. Because the teacher is he that is in you, the Ruach of the Creator. And he put a head over you, meaning you got some power over you that you don't even know you got. Not only do you have it in you, you got it over you as your head. See, they don't understand. That's why they don't give Hamashiach, which is Christ, the glory in being the head over the church. That's why they won't give it to him, y'all. That's why they won't get. That's why you don't hear them preach it. You don't hear them teach it. You don't hear the Hebrews talking nothing about the head over the body. Christ, Hamashiach. They ain't gonna teach that because then it takes away from their who they are. I want to be the head, the king, the leader, and ruler. You're going to be the head, king, and leader, and ruler because the Father just wanted me to give the warning. There's a church out there for you to be the head, the ruler, the king, the leader, everything you want to be. It's out there. But the head over the body, over the true church, you cannot be. You cannot be. Okay? So listen to what listen to verse 4. Have ye suffered so many things in vain? if it be yet in vain. Verse 5. He therefore that ministereth to you the Spirit and worketh miracles among you, doeth he it by the works of the law? Oh, that's another good one. You see what he's saying? He's trying to say, listen to what he said in verse 5. He therefore that minister to you the Spirit and worketh miracles among you, do he by works of the law or by the hearing of faith? See, he didn't pour it on in with the power. He didn't pour it on in with the power. Now he's saying the works of miracles. Do they do that by law? They can't do it by law. See, that shows you, well, why ain't the power? Why ain't the law? Since we're supposed to stand on so much law, what good is it if it can't do nothing but be the law that you said that it is? Listen to what verse 5 said. And verse 5, he therefore that minister to you the Spirit and worketh the miracles among you, doeth he it by works of the law or by the hearing of faith? Look, you know what I liked about this here? I said to the Father, I said, Father, that brand faith pulling up. Faith is pulling up, showing up, and showing out. Galatians chapter 3 and chapter 4, faith is pulling up and showing out. And what is he pulling up and showing out on? The law. The law. See, they want to make you think outer man got the power over all things, and the inner man don't mean nothing because we can't see him. We can't believe him. We can't know that he's there. He can't be as great. He's in the inside of you. You can't be great on the inside. We got to know who you are so we can see you. We got to know who you are so we can hear you in our natural ears to believe anything about spiritual. See, that's where they messed up, and they messed up. They just messed up. So here it is. That is beautiful because here it is again. He's putting the law against faith. 4 brands came from heaven. Let me say that again. 4 brands came from heaven. 4 brands came from heaven. Faith, fear, belief, and righteous. See, he didn't accept Abraham's belief. Why? Because Abraham was in the vision. That means he was out of the realm of the natural and he believed. So what did Father tell him? I tell you what, you are counted in under righteous. You see, he's counted in under the brand called righteous. I like that because what you don't understand, those 4 brands come down here with you, whether you know it or not. Those are 4 brands. It comes down in your spirit. He bring you in your spirit. You see? It's in your spirit. You see? He already branded you that. So that's why he's holding on to faith. Because faith is the substance of things unseen. Letting you know it's a spiritual realm. It is a spiritual realm. It is his brand. And I like it because I like how it's standing up against the law. They don't get it. They don't understand these 4 brands is pulling up in you. Let me show you how deep it is. And we're going to read it. You're going to see it. You're going to hear it. And it threw me all the way off. But the Father answered something that I always wonder. I said to the Father, wait a minute. I got some issues, Father. What is this relationship you have with the heathens? I mean, when I would pull up in Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel, it's always trying to say the heathen shall know, and the heathen. Who is the heathen? But guess what I found out this morning, y'all, when I was reading this? The heathen's going to pull up in the kingdom, just like everybody else. See, this is why I do not deal with the Hebrews in the way that they do their teaching and they believe in, because they wrap themselves into a cult and they believe in a religion that they have set for themselves. And that's the wrong way to do it, because the first and foremost, you have to understand, you have to get with the teacher that comes to abide in you so he can teach you how to awaken. to wake your butt up. Oh no, we don't need him. We're going to our people. We leaders, kings, and rulers. Now, see, you want to be that in the flesh, but what are you in the spirit? Trash. Because you have no spirit and truth. You have no light in the spirit. You don't have no spirit and truth. And you don't have the ruach of the creator resting in you to teach you spirit and truth. So what happened? I like that, y'all. I like how faith pull up against the law. Now watch here, verse 6. Even Abraham believed. There they go. There they go. Watch this here. Even Abraham believed. Abraham got in that vision scared as a chicken. He was on holy, scared as a chicken. And listen to what it says. Galatians chapter 3 and verse 6. And even as Abraham believed in Yah. Hold on to that, y'all. Hold on to that. Even as Abraham believed in Yah. You see the belief that Abraham had. It was a belief out of what he was hearing and what he was beholding of what he was hearing. So he just believed, and it wasn't a belief that he chose out of the natural. It was a belief that he believed while he was in the spirit. But what did the Father say? Like he said in Genesis 15. He told you in the chapter of Genesis 15 when Abraham believed. Let's see what Galatians chapter 3 and verse 6 mean. It's saying, even as Abraham believed Yah, and it was counted him for righteousness. Why? The Father wants me to say to you, Abraham was counted righteous. Why righteous? Because that's one of the first brands. When y'all brand our spirit to come down here, that was one of them. That was the main brand, righteous. So he said, even though Abraham believed it, he took Abraham's belief and counted it as righteous, because that's the highest level of the four brands. So that's why, and I used to say to the Father, well, okay, if it's believed and it's one of the four brands, it's all good. He said, but Deborah, he was saying he was believing based on where the presence of where he was. But I had already had him counted in the kingdom with the brand of righteousness. And you're going to learn. You're going to find out right here in Galatians chapter 3, what Sister Deborah been telling y'all about Israel being here and Judah. And inside of Israel and Judah is the spiritual Israel and Judah coming out. And he going to break that thing down. Now I was like, see, Sister Deborah can teach without the book. That's when you know greater is he that is in you. That's the true teacher than he that is in the world. Like I said to you all, Sister Deborah can go anywhere. She's going to be all right. She's going to be all right. She can go anywhere. I don't have to take a Bible with me. I don't have to beat nobody with scriptures and all this here, Hebrew, Greek, and all this Torah. I don't have to do anything like that. I can walk among any nationality and I'm going to be all right. And I can speak and I know they might not listen, but guess what? They give me the attention. That's all that matters. Their ear is hearing, whether it believed or not. And I can go to strangers and do this. So you think I give the rats behind coming on these devil platforms? If someone believes me or understand me or not, I don't. I don't. Because I know who I am and who he have called me to be amongst the house of Israel. But I can go anywhere. Amongst the tribe of Judah. But I can go anywhere. I don't have to stay amongst Judah. I can go to the heathens and Gentiles. Y'all didn't know that, did you? That's not what he called me to minister to and direct. He called me to Judah. But I can go anywhere. That's why he got me a lane. That's why I have a lane to go in. Because I can go anywhere. I don't need to take a Bible. I don't need to take the lost books and all these books that everybody trying to swing into. They give all the books to glory. And y'all sitting over here on the throne say, see, Deborah, all these books knows everything. And I don't know nothing. But see, with this sister, he all that and something. Can't no book override what I know about him. Can't no book and nobody overrides him. He all that and something. Y'all better kick yourself to the curb because you got it wrong. You got it all bent up and down. He is not who you think he is, something to be played with. But the serpent seed is the only one to do that. Okay, so listen to here. I like that because I like how he said, even as Abraham believed in Yah. See, Yah didn't take the belief. He said, Abraham, you counted it, bro. You under righteous. You under righteous. See, and that's what people don't understand. You can say what you want to say. You can think what you want to think. Y'all already know who you are. It doesn't matter who you think you are, who you want to be. Y'all already know who you are. And that's what's so important to me, is that no matter how people role play and claim this and do this and do, it don't matter. Okay. Now, verse 7, it says, know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same. See, y'all, Father, you gonna get me in trouble, ain't you, Father? Y'all, I just love you, Father. Oh, Father, I just love you. Oh, Father, listen to verse 7. Now, verse 7, know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same, the children of Abraham. Y'all don't get it, do you? See, faith is a spirit, y'all. Faith is a spiritual brand that's brand your spirit. That's what I try to explain to you all who Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was. They were flesh, but their mission was spirit. They didn't come down here to represent the flesh. They had a spiritual mission. You see, they were branded with the four to come down here. And that's why he split up the vision and the dream separate. He wanted us to understand that Abraham in the spirit has a spiritual promise. Abraham in the flesh has a flesh promise to a land. And when the Hebrew Israelites, so-called men, got it all screwed up and down, not understanding that there are two different promises, you guys. One for the spirit and one for the flesh. One was founded in the vision and one was founded under the dream. Come on, pull it up and show what it says. Genesis 15. There's two visions going on. One vision and one dream. One was for the flesh and one was for the spirit. What he told Abraham in the dream, that was to give his seed in the flesh the promised land. And y'all running around here won't even give him the glory. Y'all run around here won't even give him the credit. Y'all run around here don't even recognize it. He did it. He let Joshua take them young ones and bring them into the promised land. And you all have not even saluted him for that. Because you got your family, your forefathers, them act a fool like they acting today. They act the fool over there. But we need to stop lying, trying to make people think that he did not. And that this Exodus, as they say, is him fulfilling Abraham. No. He got two things he fulfilling in Abraham. The spiritual promise and the flesh promise. The flesh promise has been fulfilled, you guys. How about that? The flesh promise has been fulfilled. Joshua took you over to the promised land like he told Abraham, did he not? Well, why ain't you giving y'all the glory? And just admit that your ancestors and them act the fool. You know how you go tell the heathens and Gentiles all of what their ancestor did and they gonna pay and what their ancestor did to you? Why ain't you checking up on what you did to the Most High Yah when he gave you what he gave you, which was the promised land flowing with milk and honey? How about that? How about that? Why don't you compare what he gave you when he gave you the promised land, and you act the fool like you're acting the fool now? But then you go over to the heathens and Gentiles and say your forefathers are going to pay for what they did to us and what they did to. Why have you salute the fact of what you did? Why haven't repent come to your spirit? Why haven't the repent come to your spiritual heart of what you've done to the Father? 400 years he gave you to come to the throne with repentance, and ain't now one of you even thought about it. 400 and some odd years. And you sitting here still turning to the heathens and Gentiles. Y'all owe us something. They owe you all another tail whooping until you learn how to come to the throne of the Most High Yah with thanksgiving and forgiveness and the repent that's worth being repent. Worth repenting. No, y'all want to sit around here and gain all this money from the heathens and Gentiles and then talk about the heathens and Gentiles bothering us. What you doing on the devil's platform with them? You know who owns these platforms. Why are you up on it? Same one you sitting here talking about did this and did. They doing it. Yeah, they did it, and they still doing it. But the Father like to say to you, what have you done lately? Have you recognized? Have you learned? You want to talk about y'all history? The foolish thing about Hebrews, I'm going to call them Hebrews, is the sickest thing. They feel the whole world and y'all owe them. They don't feel like they are supposed to do nothing. There's no repenting in their spiritual heart. There's no turning away from their wicked ways, their lusts, their porno, their desires to have young women, their desires to do abomination, fornication, adultery, whoremongering, all the things they was doing over in the promised land. They think y'all don't see them doing it today. I'm a prophet in the wilderness, and guess what? I'm seeing you in the naked eyes. I'm seeing what you're doing. I'm watching what you're doing. And a lot of these women go out here and they trying to look a role just to please the flesh of these men. You can't do it. You can't win. Because when these men disappoint a creator who chose them as children, and they decide that they ain't going to abide by him, they don't care who he is, they don't give a nothing about him. No, woman, he'll never see you to be anything. Because if he's treat the creator that way, he's treating the creator that way. Right here in the year 2024, they are treating the creator that way, which is the Most High Yah. Everybody owe them something. They ain't done nothing to nobody. Y'all already just signed in that he's going to deal with them for what they have done. But what is he going to do for you? Did he tell you he's coming for only a small remnant? You think he playing, don't you? You think he coming for all of you, right? It's like saying, what he's saying is, you never went out. Men never counsel or went before the brothers in righteous, in just, in upright. Women, you never went to the daughters in justice, in righteous, and in upright. But you're hooping and hollering, everybody else doing you wrong. But what have you done right? What have you done right? Or can you count anything? If you thinking holding on to the law cause for righteousness, you lost without a cause. You're gonna live and die with that cause that you think you walking in righteous in. Nothing positive. The Hebrew Israelites come out with this thing awakening, and they haven't awakened to nothing but wicked and evil. And people sitting here glorifying him in it. But yet he's coming for you. He don't get nothing, but you gets it. You think he 400 years was meant for you to be the same person your forefather was in the promised land over here in this land? And you gonna come out with victorious? If y'all were to take you out of this promised land, out of this land of your captives, and he was to take the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah, he wouldn't be a just and a righteous creator. He do whatever he wanted, and it's in his will. But he'll be taking Satan's seed up out of here into some place righteous and holy. I don't think he's going to do that. No. I know that's what they breeding into majority everybody, that we all are going, they're going to exit us and we're going to get out of here. I think the Father wanted us to own that, y'all. I think he wanted us to own the fact that he did give us the promised land that he promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That was in the dream. But now he's coming for the promise of the spiritual to Abraham, and that his seed will be blessed. And y'all never knew what that meant. His seed will be blessed, because that blessed means they're going to have eternal life. They're going to be founded under righteous. That's the spiritual seed of Abraham. And y'all missed it. Y'all missed it because they insist on teaching y'all the way of their understanding of their flesh, the way of their understanding, their knowledge of their flesh, and the way of their wisdom of their flesh, till you got lost in their church and have forsaken the church in the spirit. Okay. Now here it says, Galatians chapter 3 and verse 7, know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. I told y'all, Abraham them came down here with the 4 brands. That's what anybody down here that has the faith brand, that has the fear brand, the righteous brand, or the belief brand in their spirit, are you good? You Abraham seed. That's what it's telling you. Do you think it's saying cause you Abraham seed that you all at it? No, see, that's what I told y'all. They got it bent. They got it bent all up. They think because they're Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob seed that they are entitled to the promise of eternal. No, you ain't, baby. He split that mess up back in Genesis 15. That's why he gave Abraham a vision and he gave him a dream to separate the two. One is the spiritual promise and the other one is the flesh promise. You got the flesh promise. Josh took you up out of here. He took you to the promised land. You got it. Okay. Now verse 8. Galatians chapter 3 and verse 8. And the scriptures foreseeing that Yah could justify the heathens through faith. You see that? See that, y'all? We sit here talking about heathens and Gentiles and don't even understand. In Matthew 25, Yeshua told you he pulled up all nations. Yeshua said, I poured up all nations, Deborah, on all the 4 corners. I didn't just pull up Hebrews or I didn't. I pulled up all nations. And I got over there in my glory and I separated them from each other. I separate the goats on one side and the sheep on the other. But I call them all nations. So what we're sitting here lying down on this earth about, that's on us. Because we was lying on the Most High God in the promised land after all he had given us. We were sitting over in the promised land lying on him. That's why we over here lying. And you would think this midnight hour we would get it right, but no, they ain't getting nothing right. They wanted to still rest in the lie. Now listen to this. Galatians chapter 3 and verse 8. And the scriptures foreseeing that Yah would justify the heathens through faith. See? Heathens. This not saying Gentiles, they say heathens. So I said to the Father, I said, so that's why you keep saying in Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah, and the heathens gonna know this, and the heathens, and the heathen. Because we're thinking, no, I ain't saying we, people are thinking, y'all sending everybody else to hell, and only the Hebrews are going to heaven. They're the only one righteous. And guess what? Righteous is not even found in them, y'all. We've been lying. We ain't got nothing better to do but to lie. We think we got all this time to just lie it all the way up to the end. And that's what we're doing because it gives us what we need on these platforms. And that is a check at the end to be glorified, to be praised. They'd rather have that than to tell the truth, y'all. Now listen to this. And he said in verse 8, and the scriptures foreseeing that Yah could justify the heathens through faith, preaching before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all nations be blessed. Wait a minute. And what did he say at the beginning of 8? Foreseeing. And the scriptures foreseeing that Yah could justify the heathens through faith. And he is. He is. Now watch this here. Preached before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all nations be blessed. Why is he saying all nations are going to be blessed? It's because out of all nations, Abraham going to have a seed that's going to be blessed. See how if Abraham have a seed that's in Russia, in China, you see, in Palestine, he said, in what? And shall all nations be blessed. See, what they did not understand is they want to make it look like them, the Israel and Judah. No, that's not what it says. It says all nations, just like Yeshua. When he come to the corners of the earth, he's going to gather all nations to be judged. He's going to separate them in the kingdom. Goats with an S on one side and sheep. And then when he get it up further to the throne of Yah, he going to call the sheep righteous. Told y'all. We fall under righteous if righteous falls in us. Through the what? The brand of the Spirit. Yah has branded his in the Spirit. We don't know that it's in there, but it's something about our life itself identify that we are special. You see what I'm saying? Something should be in there. Okay, now watch this here. And he said in 8, by faith, through faith, heathens justify the heathens through faith, preached before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all nations be blessed. That's where the bless is coming in. See, to be blessed, you would think a lot of people take that blessed, and give it to the world. Oh, he blessed them in the world. No, use a lie from the pit of hell. That blessed means kingdom blessed. Y'all gonna lie to these people as long as they live it. And they gonna eat your lies until they dead. So this here is a kingdom blessed. Okay, now watch this. In verse 9, so then they which be of faith are blessed with the faithful Abraham. Yes. Because Abraham came down with the 4 brands. And it's telling you if, watch this here, verse 9. So then they which be of faith are blessed. Watch this here. With the faith of Abraham. They coming into the kingdom with the brands, y'all. They pulling up because they came down with them. They came down with the brands. The brands are righteous, belief, faith, and fear. It's branded in their spirits. And they coming and returning back to the kingdom like they left. And there ain't nothing y'all can say about it. Y'all can teach these people that's out here lost with the cause and without one. And they're going to be remaining. That's why their hearts are so regular toward each other. That's why their hearts, Hebrews, their hearts are so regular with each other. They won't speak to each other spirit and truth. They won't take the light and go into darkness and cut that light on and show up all our darkness for nothing. But oh, baby, he said, never when I come, I'm coming for what is mine. And see, that's what nobody don't believe. They think that he's going to come because it's an order in which they think that he's going to come. And some of them will tell you what all the lost books said. You keep on reading them lost books and see how found you're going to become. You're going to be lost as the books are and have been in time past. How about that? Take that. And see if they're going to save you. That's exactly what Galatians chapter 3 and in chapter 4 said. Y'all running this thing by the wrong law and the wrong rules and the wrong wisdom and the wrong knowledge of this flesh of these men and women. Y'all not running this thing by the Spirit of the Most High, y'all. Like he ain't got a voice. Y'all sick. He can't speak. He can't hear. He can't even have a righteous prophet. He ain't got no business having nobody on the earth speaking. And if he do, you the fake one or you the wrong one. All right, I'll be that. But I tell you what, you catch me on the spiritual end and see how far you get. Now we in verse 10. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse. Are under the curse. Now watch this. For it is written. Say that again, Yeshua on the mountain to Satan. It is written. Now this is where the power punch come in. Curse is everyone that continue not in all the things which are written in the book of the law to do them. In the book of the law to do them. Now, you don't see what's going on in that verse? Pull it up now, y'all. See if you can catch it. See what it said. It ain't making sense. But you got to be able to be led by the Spirit. Watch what it says. For as many as are of the works of the law. So we want to take this law and we want to work this law. We want to work this law. And what does it say? Are under the curse. They're under the curse. For it is written. Where is it written? In the kingdom, y'all. But listen to what happened. Curse is everyone that continue not, there they were not, in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. That don't even sound right. Because the first part of that in 10 don't match the last one. See? If you can't see that smear, I don't know what you can see. You see? It's not even working together. It's saying something totally different from one another. The works are of the law are under the curse. For it is written. Curse is everyone that continue not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. I would say the law in which they have battled you all across the head with, be careful. Because I'm going to tell y'all something I know a lot of y'all ain't going to understand. There's two laws. Okay. Once you're able to separate the two, you come into the light. When you sit down and start separating things that's in the flesh from the things that's in the spirit, you'll find yourself saying, wait a minute, it's something totally different over here. And they talking about this over here. Why? This in here is hell walking itself. But yeah, I mean, it's the lake of fire walking itself. But how is it connecting itself to this one over here? It's because they're making it one. And it's separate. Y'all couldn't get them to follow the law for nothing, y'all. All the way to the promised land, they never followed the law. Now you get into captivity, you want to follow the law. What law are you following now? The one you didn't when you was in your promised land, floating with milk and honey, had it all going on. You didn't follow the law then. You didn't follow the law back in the old. You didn't follow the law in Torah. But now you're going to pull up and follow the law? Come on. That's why Yah is saying that they don't, it's scriptures telling you that Yah said he don't care for their feasting. Even when Yeshua pulled up and said the days of Lot, they're going to be feasting and eating and drinking. Because they really think that they can master this thing over in the land of their captive, in the land of their situation as a cursed situation. That means we're going to make it the opposite of what he said. and we're going to ride on it and think we're going to change. You know what? Y'all notice ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Y'all ain't noticed that? You don't see nothing change since the Hebrew Israelites said they have awakened. Matter of fact, it ain't number 10% of Judah in the whole United States that says that they are awakened. And they're not about to go to tell the other 90%. They ain't about to go into the churches and tell the other brothers. And the sisters not finna go into the church and tell into the church built with bricks and tell the other ones. That's how hatred they are. That's how they hate one another. They don't have no unity. They don't have no togetherness. But then they want to get on all these platforms from Sunday to Friday, then pull up Friday evening to Saturday morning to noon, to sunset, and then pull up, oh, this is the Sabbath day. We time to worship Yah. Sit your tails down. If you ain't worshiping him 24/24 in your spirit, sit your tail down. You ain't worshiping him in the flesh. This is what he's saying. It's a fake church that's leading the mass. And he that's under the body of Hamashiach is separate. And he's saying to you that's under the body of Hamashiach, it's time to come in. Come into the church house. Because he wants to close the door behind you. So come in, y'all. Start understanding this thing is all connected to the greater one that's in us. The one that created it all. Not these people. They talk about T.D. Jakes. They talk about Clifford Dollars and Eddie Long, but they doing the same thing that they're doing. They just using these platforms. They're not feeding you spirit and truth. They're not showing you they light. They're not teaching you anything that feeds your spirit because they don't want to help you in that area because they are not part of the body of Hamashiach. If they're not a part of the body of Hamashiach, why are you outside of the house of the church playing with them? Get your butts in the body of Hamashiach where you belong. He's getting ready to close the door to the church and think that you're going to come in. That's where we at today, y'all. That's where we at. So when you get to 10, the beginning of 10 is confusing. Can anybody in the live chat break down Galatians chapter 3 and verse 10 and tell me how do you comprehend where it says, "Cursed is everyone that continue not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them." And then turn around and say at the beginning, "For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse, for it is written." Okay. And if you can pull that up and let us look into that. Now in verse 11, it says, "But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of Yah." See how that pulled up? You see that? Now it's telling you something different. It's telling you, now y'all, can you not hear what this is saying? Listen to this. Verse 11, "But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of Yah." You're not going to be justified because you thinking you work in the law and you keeping the law. Because the Father already got it nailed to the wall, y'all. And can't nobody take it loose. It is what he said it is, not what these flesh are teaching you and leading you to believe. They got to make their religion fit among their people. They got to be able to deceive the mass in what they want them to believe. And the mass don't even, the majority of the people don't even understand. They outside of the true church, playing around with the fake church in the flesh because it gives them more pleasure. And that's kind of sad. So listen to verse 11. "But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of Yah." So what is this law that they're constantly saying that you're supposed to uphold because they saying it means something to them? See, they didn't know that there was another law. And that's their problem. That's their issue. That's why Yeshua was saying, "I ain't coming to bother with your law. I'm coming to set the law straight by fulfilling it." And they still running around here, didn't keep the law back in Torah, didn't keep the law in the old, didn't keep the law in the wilderness, didn't keep the law in the promised land. And here they are under the curse. And now they want to tell you, let's keep the law. Without even understanding that Yah is the law. He got a law within himself. Praise the mighty Yah. So what they do is when they trying to force people to keep the law in which they understand it in the flesh, they're trying to take away from the law that Yah says, when I come and I abide in you, you're going to see the true law. Because that law will teach you how to uphold everything. Everything. The law that Yah is will keep you and get you to be upheld by all law in the spirit, first and foremost. You ain't gonna worry about the one in the flesh, because when the spiritual law rise up, who created law in you, all law has to bow down. See, y'all don't understand stuff like that. All law has to bow down to the law of Yah. See, they didn't think he had a law. Oh yeah, baby, he is a law. Oh, they don't think that. Oh yeah, just like he got all the gifts of the spirits. Oh yeah, see, they want to make it look like this law is something that the flesh can uphold. Baby, your flesh can't uphold not one pin needle of any law. It didn't back in the old, it didn't back in Torah, it didn't back in the promised land. So here you are over here. And you want the people to believe that you are upholding the law with your rotten tails, your lying, your lust, your fornication, your adultery, your sorcery and witchcraft, your abomination. But yet, keep the law. Law your tail somewhere and sit down and have respect for my Father's law, for he is the law. See, that's what people don't understand. How you going to sit and bring a law on top of the law? Who created even the law you trying to hold? And then he's override that law, but yet you're going to tell people they got to keep your law, and he is the law who created your law, and he over succeed your law. He is the law. Same thing with commandments. Don't go beat nobody over in the head. Guess what? He that created the commandments, when he come to live in you, he is the commandments. So why are you going to tell me what to keep? When he that is in me is greater than he that is in the world that you're trying to keep. So he's keeping you from the inside. He's holding you up in his own commandments that he already have within. He is the commandment. See, no one wants to give that power and that authority back to he that created all things. They ain't gonna ever do it. They can't come to that term. They can't come to that. They won't come. They don't find no space and no room. They don't have nothing in them. And what I come to understand and embrace when he was telling me about the church, hey, Father, y'all, it's a lot of people going on the dark end. That's on the door. He said, yes, you got to understand that narrow gate. That narrow gate tells everything. That narrow gate tells the whole way, Deborah, of the minds of people. So, and he said here in verse 11, but no man is justified by the law in the sight of Yah. So y'all's eyes don't see y'all monkey laws. Y'all trying to beat across people and then not have any spirit and truth nor light for these individuals. But you want to expound on the law. You first and foremost have to stand down and understand there's two laws on the land. Which law are you representing? And how must I tell you as a prophet is in the wilderness that your law ain't going to over succeed my Father, who he is, the law within. Woo-wee! They going to get in trouble, Father Yah. They going to get in trouble. Now watch this here. Verse 12. No, let me say that. Let me finish 11. But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of Yah. It is evident. Now watch this here. For the just shall live by faith. Let me explain that to y'all. You see what that's telling you? The just, the just, you know what the just is? The righteous. Ooh, Deborah, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. That's the righteous. The righteous, verse 11, shall live by faith. Do y'all get that? So what he's saying, look at two of the brands. Just is righteous. And faith pulled up. That's two of the brands, y'all. But he's telling you, live by that, baby. Live by that. Live. Live is what? Your life by that. Rest assured that they exceed beyond the law of the mouths of men and women that traps you to follow them in the law that their forefathers couldn't uphold, but yet they're over here trying to chain you up to. Instead of giving all glory and honor to the Most High Yah, asking and desiring him to lead and guide you, you can't fail. Because if he's greater in you, and he already know that you desire to be led by him, you got all righteous in you, y'all. You got faith in you. You see? So it's almost said all these things in which created religions means nothing. These are man-made. Think of that now, y'all. It's all about man-made. Because it's nothing bringing y'all the glory. These man-made religions ain't bringing your Father the glory. They ain't giving him the honor. They getting it. With their laws and their commandments and their instructions and their directions and their wisdom and their knowledge and their understanding. Then the Ruach come and said, Deborah, do they know? All understanding is in me. I said, no, Father, they don't. Because you told them already, Father, that when you come, you're going to teach them all things. They ain't sat down long enough for you to teach them because they thought they were all things. They thought they are all things. So they figured they got you bent. They got the ones that y'all giving them, bent them up. Okay? I like that. And it says, when it says the just, that means the righteous shall live by faith. What is it saying that to Deborah about? He's telling you, Deborah, the righteous shall, not might think about it. No, they're going to live. They're going to live this life by faith. Because that faith and that righteous is going to bring them home to me. Oh, praise the mighty y'all. See, they don't know about that portion, y'all. They do not know about this stuff, y'all. They don't know about it because they go to this church called flesh. And that's what makes it so easy when they look over here and say, this one is doing this and this one is doing this. They doing it because you ain't never figure out who you are. That you matching them side by side. Okay? Now, I like that because when he said live, I said, Father, that live is saying the flesh. Live. Yeah. Pull on up. Well, just, Deborah, just is righteous. And you're going to live it. He said, and you shall. He's letting you know. You shall. By faith. See them two brands? Righteousness and faith sitting there. Letting you know, I got you. Righteous and faith sitting there telling y'all, I got you. No, they don't know about that. That's what it's saying. Just is righteous. Righteous is just. Faith, oh, come on now. Faith, you done pulled up, didn't you? Yeah, just and faith got you. Live it. You can live by that. How about that? And he's telling you what? But that no man can be justified by the law in y'all sight. See how they sit here swinging to y'all all about law. But in y'all sight, kick that mess to the curb. He said, pull up with faith. Come on, we're righteous. Hey, believe. Hey, believe. Pull up. Faith. There. Come on. Endurance. Where you at? Come on over here and help them out. While they sit here telling you all this bull crap, all these gifts that the Father has in control of his power, in his power, we've forsaken that to go over there to their church and believe that trash they teach. Okay, verse 12. The law is not. The law is not faith. So how is it the law gonna come up and be so bad? have all this power. How is it that the laws and the law of man's mindset gonna pull up with everything? Faith looking at him like he crazy. You crazy. Watch this here. Verse 12, Galatians chapter 3 and verse 12. And the law is not faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. You pull up in law. The man that do them shall live in them. So that's why they living in faith, in a law. Listen to what it says. And the law is not faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them. You want to live by law? Keep on using law. Live in them. And that's why they got the mass following the law. They don't understand how. You know what? I'm going to say this here, and y'all probably think this girl didn't lost it. I said, Father, how can you be who you are and not be all things? So if you say you come to abide in us, in time past, you didn't do that, Father. You lived upon them. You was with them. You was in the midst of them. But Father, you come to live. You come to abide in us. You mean we ain't got the sense enough to know that if you are greater in us than the whole world, how is it we can't follow laws? How is it we can't follow commandments? The one who created the law, the one who created the commandment is living in us. So we got to follow that in the flesh that man says, according to be in a relationship with him that's already living in us, that owns the law, that owns the commandments. Does that make any sense? Why would he come to live in Sister Deborah? And I'm running over here trying to uphold all the things that's in the world that my ancestors couldn't uphold. Torah couldn't uphold. They couldn't. He said, Deborah, I tell them that they can sacrifice this when they sin. Let me tell you what the Spirit told me. And this was about 3 months ago. He said, Deborah, when I set that law for them to sacrifice for their sins, he said, guess what? Deborah, they would do wrong, sin, take their stuff, sacrifice, go right back. After they do their sacrifice, go right back and do the same sin. See, y'all never thought of that, did you? But that's true fact. That's sad, ain't it? You see how they running you, want to keep you in Torah. Stay away from Torah in a way that's trying to lock you into it. Learn, study, but trust in he that said he would come. He will comfort you. He will teach you. He will reveal things to you. He will show you things to come. And then he said, I will teach you all things. When if he thought that the flesh of man who think they got Torah mastered, they think they got the law mastered, they think they got the commandments mastered, why didn't he leave it to them? He turned around and said, put your trust in no man. You know what he's talking about, y'all? Flesh. Don't go around here thinking these flesh has the key to the kingdom. They don't have the key to the kingdom because y'all ain't gave it to them. They don't have spirit and truth. They don't even have a light. And y'all people running around chasing their tails all over the place, giving them glory for what? They ain't fed you no spiritual food. They ain't showed you that they represent your most high Yah. They ain't showed you how they praise him, honor him, and put him on a pedestal. No, they ain't gonna do it because they on the pedestal themselves. That's why they won't talk about the body of Hamashiach, because the body of Hamashiach is the body of Christ. They ain't gonna talk about it. They ain't gonna ever talk about it. And guess what? It's real, y'all. It's real. And that body of Hamashiach got them 4 brands too within them. Oh, they ain't gonna talk to y'all about it. They ain't gonna teach y'all that. They ain't gonna show y'all that. They ain't gonna reveal things to y'all in that sense. They ain't gonna do it. So here I go again. Galatians chapter 3 and verse 12. And the law is not faith. It's not of faith. So how we gonna wait a minute. What are we gonna do with this law? It's not a faith. Faith is one of the brands from the kingdom of the Most High Yah and the power of his might. So how is it that we're going to uphold something that our forefathers couldn't uphold, Torah couldn't uphold, the Old Testament couldn't uphold? They couldn't even uphold nothing in the promised land. But yet, We're going to pull up in captivity and uphold all laws. Come on now, y'all. Come on, people. Only thing you should be desiring is the presence of the Most High, y'all. In you, living, walking, talking, spiritual in you. Not all this trash on the outside. Okay? So in verse 13, Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law. Wait a minute, hold up. I'm getting ready to leave, y'all. I got to get out of here. Because I'm saying to the Father, how is it this stuff is just plainly seen and people will rather hear somebody's mouth tell them something different? I mean, it's just sitting right here. Do y'all not hear that? Galatians chapter 3 and verse 13. Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us, for it is written, curse is everyone that hangs on a tree. Come on now, y'all. And let me tell y'all something. You can ask people if they got a book. You can say, do you have a King James 16:11? Do you have a King James Bible? There are little signs and tokens that the Father still left for his elects. So that and it's a mystery. It was a mystery. It's not so much a mystery now. We're here to speak that mystery. He said in the end days, knowledge shall increase. Knowledge is a part of the mystery. Okay, and mystery is a part of the knowledge that shall increase in the last days. They didn't accept knowledge back in Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. They ain't gonna accept it now, but it ain't gonna stop Father's will from being put forth. So when I read chapter 13 of Galatians chapter 3, I look for little tokens that the Spirit wants me to see. And here, like I told y'all, there are stars. I don't know if y'all can see it. You see this little star right here in, go the other way, Deborah. Over in the corner where my finger is at. Wait a minute, let me turn this right. Over in the corner, do you see a little black star? That black star is Deborah, expound on that. That means Deborah, climb on top. Climb on top of that. Now, as far as I can see, when I see the stars, that means I'm sending something to you. Pay attention. Climb on top of that. And it's saying in verse 13, first of all, Galatians chapter 3 and verse 13, first of all, I hear the power. Christ is the power of the Father's right hand. So he's saying the power has redeemed us. The power has redeemed us. Watch this here. From the curse of the law. From the curse of the law. Being made a curse for us. For it is written. For it is written. It is written, letting you know heaven's already orchestrated this. What are y'all talking about out here? Y'all ain't talking about nothing, he said. You ain't talking about nothing. It is written. And we want to know where it's written? In the kingdom. While y'all down here clowning on the earth. Not understanding nothing he didn't say and sealed. So he said here, the power has redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, curse is one that hang on a tree. You see that? Curse is one that hang on a tree. The main thing in that topic is what I saw first. I don't see Yeshua. Do you hear Yeshua name in here? The Son of Man? No, but you see the Son of Yah. The Son of Yah is Christ. It is his power. You see, it redeemed us through the power. And that's why he says they deny the power they're in. Where is the power at, Father? They're in. They deny. They rather teach you their way in the way that you may lead in their direction, in the way they understand it, under their knowledge, their precept, they line, they little here, they little everything. And you can't, this whole book, King James, King James 16, every lost book, every found book. You can make it make sense. But when the Ruach pull up, it's going to bring sense to spirit and truth and the whole matter. Then therefore, what you done made make sense ain't going to make sense no more. Why? Because the new sheriff stepped in town. The Ruach HaKodesh, the true teacher. And when he come pull up, he's pulling up with spirit and truth. Okay. Now in verse 14, it says that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yeshua HaMashiach, through the blood and through the power, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through prayer, through faith. Do y'all get that? Do y'all see Abraham's promise? That's Abraham's other promise, y'all. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Abraham had two promises. One was in the vision and one was in the dream. One promise was eternal life, and the other promise was the land for his children. That promise. Abraham's promise is what you're looking at in Galatians chapter 3 and verse 14. And it says here that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. Who received that? That the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles. Now, see right there? That's where the star is at as well. What you missed and what they've been lying to you on, all nations going to enter in eternal heaven. All nations. And the blessed that they are of Abraham, it don't have to be the bloodline. It's the spiritual bloodline. They coming in the same way Abraham came in. That's how they're going to get blessed. See, y'all didn't know that because y'all take away the things in the spirit. When it's telling you that and they going to be blessed, it's telling you heavens had already sealed them to be blessed through Abraham. That blessed is spiritual. The other is the promised land. The flesh enter into the promised land. And Josh did that. He fulfilled that. He brought them in to where? The promised land. Just as what? The Father promised Abraham. And then the Hebrews didn't show, didn't teach, don't preach, don't lead, and don't guide these men to understand that the promise already been met. The promise that y'all looking for is not for you. That's the promise of the Spirit. The promise of the Spirit. That's what you're missing here in Galatians chapter 3 and verse 14. That the blessing of Abraham, you know, the blessing of Abraham was the promise for eternal. That's the blessing of Abraham. So when it says, and your seed's going to be blessed in all nations, because all nation is going to gain that same blessing that you receive, Abraham, for eternal. They lied to y'all, and they still going to continue, and you're going to continue to follow their lies. Now, what he said, verse 14, that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yeshua HaMashiach. Through the Yeshua HaMashiach. And what is it saying? Through the blood and through the power. That's what it's saying. Through the blood and through the power that the Gentiles is coming through the blessing of Abraham. Which blessing is Abraham? The eternal heaven. So that's what they're talking about. Watch this here. That we might receive the promise. You see where that promise is at? Do y'all see? Anybody in the live chat, give me a thumbs up if you see the power of the promise. Do you see that promise right there? Give me a thumbs up if you see the word promise in verse 14. The promise of the Spirit through faith. Look how faith pulled up again. It's talking about the promise of the Spirit. Who is they talking about though? The Gentiles. See, the Hebrews ain't gonna teach y'all that. They ain't gonna tell you that because they so busy teaching y'all hate in a way that they don't understand that Satan is to hate the righteous, and the righteous is gonna hate his sin and his evil. But they got it all bent up and down, and they have successfully led their own people. And here in 14, it's telling you that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. That's the promise Abraham received too. He already got it. And those of the Gentiles are going to receive it too. They're getting it through faith. That's the brand. See what I'm saying? So they ain't going to tell y'all that because they don't know nothing about the brands. They have taken the brands even for their own flesh. They have not given you the understanding of the floor. There's 4 brands that the Father sent in the spirit of those who going to return unto him. Righteous, belief, faith, and fear. And you see here it says, we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. There go one of the brands that's going to bring you home, y'all. Them the brands going to bring you home. Okay. Verse 15. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no disannul or added thereof. And I don't know what he's speaking of here. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, through though it be but a man's covenant. See? And that's what everything is really surrounded about. Thank you. Thank you so much for that thumbs up. I appreciate that. Man, it has its own covenant. It has its own laws. It has its own rules and regulations outside of what is spirit. When we, I'm going to end that there because I can go on and on. It is so good in Galatians. And Galatians 4 is the same way. Bring you all kind of good stuff, y'all. It brings you all kind of good stuff. And I have one. Let me say this last one. Galatians chapter 3 and verse 27. It says, for as many of you as have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ. So that's why I was trying to explain to you, you ain't going down no water. Because man is saying some words out of his rotten mouth, and you going down in water talking about you baptized. Baby, you got to be baptized of the Spirit through the power. Ha, ha, ha. They don't know nothing about that either, Deborah. I know they don't. When I ain't got nothing to do with that. Father said in this end days, many shall stray away from what? The church door that's open. And it's not open, y'all. From what I can see, it's not a door. It's not a door that's wide open. It's a door that's partially closed. So the Father said unto you, the church is a spiritual door and a spiritual building. And it's built up of those who Yah has created to go therein. And those that are out there running to all these churches on these platforms and all these buildings, find your way home because the door is closing. Get on over there where you need to be in the body of Hamashiach. If you got to get with people who are coming together, see the thing about it, we have to accept everybody in the body of Hamashiach. Why? Because he didn't call nobody to say to another, you don't belong. You see, Yah called the shot on that bad boy, and he put his power over it, which is Hamashiach. Christ is the head. Christ being the head lets you know he don't need no flesh and blood of no man come ruling it in their way and in their order. Now, men can be over, but not rule beyond. Try to rule and not let the spirit of the Hamashiach be the power and the ruler over the body. He has to be up under the head, not trying to be the head. And that's where you ain't gonna get them coming in, y'all. They ain't coming in the body of Hamashiach. They ain't coming in that body because they want to be the head. They feel that they are the head. Same thing that Satan wanted in the kingdom. He wanted to rule. He wanted to be the head. He wanted the power. And that's what you see on all these devil platforms. With the women too. They want to be on here and they want to rule. And there's some of them that's on here with their husband. You can see that they rulers. You see, they ruling it. But they ruling with no spirit and no truth. They ruling it with no light. They ruling it to the point where it becomes everything going on in the world. Oh, you guys, let me tell you. And he said this to me. I don't know if it meant for you all, but I'm going to tell you. He was telling me about the truckers and how they went on, call themselves going on strike, and they're over in the New York. He said, just like everything else, he took me back to the pandemic, during the pandemic. He said that, Deborah, before they reset everything, they change your water, they change your food, they change your banks, they change your phones, they change your living, they change everything. And the only way they can change, they have to close everything down so they can reboot it up their way. And he wanted me to let you all know they already reset everything. They had to reset it before the Antichrist come on the scene. It's set for him to just bring everything into a oneness, and he's ready. Now, what the people didn't do, this is why I also tell a lot of people that I think the United States, even though we as people really thought that the United States was up here, now, United States snakes was a food for Satan. That's who they were. Satan's biggest food. Because here you see them now. They can't see that these people are trying to start racial wars. They can't see that these people are trying to they trying their best to fulfill. They ain't trying, they are. I'm gonna put it like that. They trying to fulfill Matthew chapter 24, when Yeshua was telling y'all, don't get caught up in wars and rumors of wars, y'all. Yeshua told us that. He said, but nations against nations and kingdom against kingdom. That means there's a civil war within. People against people. And that's why they pulled up with the migrants, because they got to get them against you all. And they're not here in this country to play with the white people. They're not here to play with the Hebrew Israelites and the other nationality. They're here to destroy. They brought in demons beyond demons, y'all. I'll run around here and foul spirits beyond. Did United States have it all? Already, that's what the Father said. It was already like that. So they just brought them all here to fulfill nations against nations and kingdom against kingdom. But they're not going to be the outside of the United States. We're going to be warred in the inside. So the civil war that has never have ever in since the world even been is going to be right here on this land in the United States. That's what is being prepared. And it has to take chaos. They have to form all kind of chaos from every form, every corner. They did a really good job with shutting everybody down so that they can get in there and reset everything. And they did. They even changed our foods. They changed the ingredients. They add bioengineer. They put all kind of stuff in our waters. They done everything to change our way of living. So they're saying we're going to get them one way or the other. We're going to get them from the inside or we're going to get them from the outside. We got it going on. They announced that by the year of 2025, half of the population will be dead. And they got up and applauded here in the United States. And you know what? The United States still out here. Skinheads, KKK, Ku Klux Klan, black people. I'm going to say black people, African people, Judah, Israel, everybody here in this country or what you call, I ain't gonna say no out of, they out here, they clowning and not even seeing that they in a hot pot that is lit and they about to boil. Because the way that they did it, it's to me, as a prophetess in the wilderness, I could see that the way that they set it up. And with me, my thing is, wait a minute, hold up. Who giving them that? Who giving them that type of power? Who giving that? The Father had to let me know that, wait a minute. You better go back and understand. These things need be. And I'm like said, in a sense, I feel that he's preparing me by allowing me to see it now. Not today. I've already seen it. Even he had gave me during the pandemic a time of a woman in travail. And I'm like said, it's like a woman in travail. He kept telling me. And do you all know that baby was birthed? during the pandemic. What was that baby being birthed? It was birthing a new reopening, in a sense. That baby was birthed. Okay, they shut everything down. They put you even in your house. They did shut everything down. They interfere with everything that you have, that you can live with or have, and they reboot it all right back up. But the way that it's set up now, they're gonna they mess with your food, your water, your everything. I mean, even the doctors you can't trust. The dentist you can't trust. You got to pray, y'all. You got to put that heavy, hardcore, real faith in y'all. And it's not the part that you in your flesh put in it. It's like, hey, you all let in some. I'm going to just lay on you and let you do this, Father, because this is off the chain. Because it really is. This thing with the trucking, that was another setup. The Father told me that's a setup. He said, this ain't got nothing to do with Trump. This is a part of them trying to get stuff started. They got to bring a war. They got to get stuff going on. Notice always happening in New York. There's always some stuff. Now, these trucking people, let me show you how United States is so dumb. Let me show you how dumb the people here in this country is. When you finish boycotting and going on strike over one man named Trump, how you gonna pay for your bills? How you gonna pay to put food in your mouth or for your family? If you going on strike because of one man in the court named Trump, you don't tell me, y'all don't tell me. If that's the mindset of men, they gone. They gone. But they always been gone. That's why the world is gone. And they haven't figured that out either. You out here striking and not delivering stuff ain't hurting nothing but you and yours. Trump rich. You got your stupid tails out here talking about Trump dropping his charge. This is the chaos that they have set up for you and I. This is the chaos. They want us wrapped up in all kind of chaos while they're still preparing to destroy you from this country. Nobody, Russia, China, ain't got nothing to do with this, y'all. They got y'all thinking that. Right in this country. Matthew 24 and verse 7. Kingdom against kingdom. Nation against nation. Right here on this land. United States going to be defeated from the inside. It's going to be their own people that has reside here. Right here is where the chaos is. And it's going to be. And it's going to stay right here. And until all of it in Babylon has fully been destroyed, it's all going to take place here. Not over in Russia. Not over in China. Not in. See, y'all got it bent. They got y'all thinking that. One thing else y'all don't understand. Trump and Biden is like this. Y'all, people are not looking at the elite who's ruling the world. They tell who's going to run. They tell who's going to win. You got to get in, and this is what we want y'all to do. To do what? To manipulate y'all's sick minds, thinking you voting and your voting count. Your vote ain't never count, and never will it. This has always been power and control. Who started this? Satan started in the kingdom, y'all. And y'all down on the earth, mimicking his whole mindset in the kingdom was to control and power. He down on the earth, you can show see him doing the same thing and got the people believing it's about Democratic and Republican. This about Biden and Trump. This about what they can and cannot do for us. They ain't never done nothing for you. Why are you sitting here lying? People who get wrapped up in voting, let me tell you something. You in the world. You in the world. Because as time go on, you're going to realize. No, you ain't going to realize because it's going to be too late, just like the days of Noah. It's going to be too late. You ain't going to be thinking of nothing but how to survive. When I get outside and I go places, I see vacant buildings. I see fire. I see people running all over the place, killing each other. I see people running to house, killing people, taking food, taking stuff out of their houses. And all in my mind is I got to go somewhere 4 hours, put a house on something and be out that way. That's all that I keep saying. I say that why? Because in my flesh, that's what I want. But in my spirit, I know y'all got this. During that time, I got to get you out. All that of mine, I got to get you out. But you got to see some things. Because that's a part of you understanding that my word is going to be fulfilled. Yep, they can tell y'all and all these churches and all these platforms, all this other stuff. And that's what they're doing. These platforms is to take your whole focus off of what is going to destroy you and setting up to just do that. They are doing these truckers. If that ain't the dumbest thing, you're going to stop delivering in the name of Donald Trump. When it's all said and done, y'all going to find out. Let me show y'all. Y'all going to find out. Only two things that is set. Only two things is set. Okay? And that is Donald Trump. One, he loses life. Two, somewhere they have to, you see how the truckers doing? They went on strike because Donald Trump case in the court, they want them to drop his case. How are you going to control the court on a case? Who come up with that? Who could have done that? Who could have told a man to not deliver food because of a man in court? Who could have? One man. Think y'all don't see it, do you? Y'all don't see the bigger picture. One man, and y'all gonna stop delivering? No food for your family? No bills gonna be paid? Because you're gonna stop delivering because the charges against a one man? If you can't see the power of Satan about to pull up, I don't know what you can't. You can't see nothing. That's what this is all about, y'all. This is chaos they putting before you to confuse you all in their plan. Even all they can send another a couple of, I think it's a couple of million of China men. They ain't with their wives and their children. They coming over here to battle, to destroy you. And you sitting back thinking, oh no, they ain't gonna bother me. Baby, Revelation 18:2 is gonna be fulfilled sooner than you think. It's going to be fulfilled. It's already in the making. It's already happening. When I saw the migrants shoot over here like that, see, Trump says build a wall. Biden said let it down. Notice that Trump had the power to build a wall. Why didn't he pull it? Because he never really wanted to build the wall, because the plan was to make sure the wall didn't go up. See, that was the plan. Trump had time enough to build the wall. What do you mean he didn't build? See what I'm saying? They had all these reasons. They work together, you guys. These are not people that's separate. They are one in the elites, in the way the world is to be ran, especially the United States. They are together. Now, Trump got two things that has to happen. Trump has to pull up to be either the false prophet or the Antichrist, one or the other, or he dead. That's the only thing. Trump can't pull up and make this America great again, y'all. Come on now. How can he make America great again? And Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2 said, Babylon the Great is falling twice. Is falling. So Revelation 18 telling you the great United States, the great, has fallen. But yet, he that had coming up telling y'all and feeding y'all, let's make America great. He know he can't make America great. He's messing with the minds of these people in this country. So they asked me in Granite City, Deborah, what do you think? These are Gentiles. Oh, Deborah, what do you think? What do you think gonna happen? I said, either two things. He's gonna have to take his place as the Antichrist or the false prophet. or he's going to have to die. One or the other. He is not pulling up to make America great again, y'all. You keep on being fools if you want to. Let's see how our Hebrew men have more faith in Trump than they do the Most High Yah. They give Trump more praise than they give the Most High Yah. They give Trump more honor than they give more the Most High Yah. They give more confidence in Trump. That's why I tell y'all, this thing about the tribe of Judah, it is deep. The weakness of our people are so deep. You see, look at the stuff that's going on. One thing else that's going on, y'all see a lot of these heathens taking each other's slaps. They're not taking it like one here or one there. They taking it the whole family coming down. Grandmama coming. Everybody coming down. They're doing it too. And our people, we doing it. We already, our population, we running around here saying their population is getting low and they not having any. Let me tell y'all something. Yours not either. That's just something running out of your mouth. That's all you talk. These people, our people, all they do is a lot of talk to make you think that we are producing. What are you producing, babies? You're killing more of them than you're producing. You killing. Here you got on this end. They killing their children. They killing their babies, and on this end, the brothers killing their brothers by great numbers. But yet we are producing. Come on now, y'all don't see what's going on. What is going on that people's eyes cannot see? It's no getting better, you guys. It's no president or nobody's going to get in. It's distraction. That's all it's about. That's the key for the beast, the Antichrist, and the false prophet, and the powers that be. This is how they coming in, through distraction. And they know how to do it now. Since they got us all locked down, they reset everything. Even the police department, the fire department, everybody left. Nobody really never knew that they offered them a plan to get out, because they was trying to defund, as they said, but they was resetting everything, y'all. They need crime to continue. They need killing and murdering. That's why they okay guns. A lot of these Negro men, as well as these European, because the European is strapping, y'all. They getting ready. But this is the sad part. In the spirit realm, I see the Gentiles and the heathens buying all kind of weapons. And I think that their first battle is going to be the tribe of Judah. Their first battle is going to have to be them, because they feel that we are their worst enemy that they need to defeat before they really head to the government. You see what I'm saying? Before they start the civil war, they feel we have to be done away with. And then they'll go after the civil war. And I think that it will be, because he said something even to the fact that they're going to kill and think that they're doing justice, or they going, and a lot of people use these little bitty things that's happening now. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. They're doing stuff and your people ain't talking about it nowhere. Farrakhan ain't saying nothing. Nobody in no type of leadership is saying nothing about the way they kidnapping our black men, and they doing this here, all this kind of stuff that they're doing. Ain't nobody saying nothing nowhere. And if we don't stand up and say something, then who gonna say something for us? Nobody. But you think we care? Nope. We out here doing our own thing. We out here trying to get subscribers and likes on YouTube so we can get a check. Not thinking that the Father is going to bless you pretty soon when he shut this thing down. Then what check you going to have to feed your family? You're going to have to eat the dirt in your garden. That's what you're going to have to do, because you ain't seen nothing yet. When you thought you had it from A to Z, you prepared, you ready, you're going to see what they coming from the sky, which they already doing, spreading chemicals. They doing all kind of things and doing it right in our face. And we walking around here like we got it going on. That's exactly how we as a people. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, and it is, going back to distraction, it is. It's nothing good coming out of this, y'all. There's no good coming out of it. So you can fake it till you try to make it. I'm gonna tell you what my ex-husband said to me today. He said, you know, as you be talking, if you really think about it, it's almost like if you had the eyes to see and all these things are coming on, it's not to hurt you. It's not to break you. It's not to destroy you. It's not to make you feel bad. It's really to set you free. And it is. Truth is always going to do that. It's always there. Spirit and truth. That's what it is. So when them times come, you're going to be the one to stand. Because you've already been there as far as feeling this thing, seeing this thing and seeing what's coming and feeling it by saying, yep, this is what he said is going to happen. I believe it. But these people today, oh, no, we got time. We got, no. These heathens then announced, these elites on nationwide television in 2001. No, it was 2002. And it was a whole bunch of people. You can see them. They was Europeans. But they had them in the dark, but you can see their heads. You can see that they were Europeans. And the men, it was two men on the stage, and they was talking about the development of what they're going to do to destroy the people. And I'm sitting here looking and said, I know YouTube didn't let them do that. They ain't cut them off. These people sitting here telling how they going to kill half of the population. And then all the people in the audience were all white when they stood up, clapping. You can tell they were the elites. Clapping when they made that announcement. So when y'all thinking that everything is so good and so dandy and okay, the best thing I could say is to put away you some food. Put away you some items that can help you, but ain't nothing gonna help you. Oh, Father, y'all. Ain't nothing gonna keep you on this in this earth outside of the Most High Yah. He's going to be your shield, your sword, your helmet. Some people want to tell you about put on your whole armor. Tell them sit their tails down. The whole armor is spiritual. You just can't pull it up with your nasty mouth. Out here just talking full of the world, and then you think you can just go to the closet and pull up the whole armor. It's spiritual. You can't pull up the whole armor unless the Spirit of Yah is already in you and he pull it up in you. He is the whole armor. These breastplate and the helmet of salvation and the sword, those are not something you can go in your closet and pull up. But you better hope that you got it in your closet of your spirit where it can be pulled up because you're going to need it. So Sister Deborah said, I appreciate everybody in the live chat. And I will say, I will be back. I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will be back. Did anybody have any questions before I will give a few minutes to allow anyone to have? No questions? All right. So Sister Deborah said, I appreciate it again, each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will be back. And you all have a wonderful evening. Shalom and shalom.